The best build for Firefly, she is finally getting her rerun. You might have just pulled her and now you want to know the best build for her. Because while she still is the queen of break, she is also still one of the most gooned upon characters in Honkai style realm. Surely I didn't use that picture as an excuse to make this video, right guys? Anyways, we're going to be talking about the best build for Firefly today, how you should be building her, what team she works on, because we've gotten much more characters in the game now that she can absolutely work well with, what's her best build, what stats should you be needing to reach, and everything like that. So first, let's start with the kit breakdown first to kind of explain what she's going to be doing, and then we'll hop into the full build after that. So guys, to quickly go over what Firefly is going to be doing, right? She is going to be breaking the enemy. Most of her damage is going to be coming from super break on the enemies. And how do you get this break damage on the enemy, right? Well, first of all, you need to activate her Honkai form. You need to activate her ascended state. So how this works, guys, is her basic skill, whenever you use it, it's going to be taking a portion of your HP. But on top of this, guys, it's going to be giving you 60% of your max energy back. So this means on your first rotation with Firefly on your team, she'll immediately have her ult after using her first skill. After you use this ult, guys, this is where things start to get crazy at, because her ultimate move will basically be giving her advanced action forward by 100%. It'll be increasing her speed, giving her an enhanced basic attack and skill attack, increase her own weakness break efficiency by 50%, and make the enemies take 20% more break damage. So this is where the main bread and butter of your kit's coming from, right? This is where most of the damage you're getting out is actually going to be at. Now, with this, guys, you do need to speed tune her correctly, or I guess get her above a certain speed threshold, so she's able to get one extra turn in this combustion state. The more you're in this state, the more damage she does. It kind of works like Jingle in a way. The more you're in her transcendent state, the more damage you're going to do. So let's quickly go over what the skill move's going to do. First of all, you get an absolute shit ton of multipliers. I'm just going to throw it here on screen, guys. I'm not even going to explain this, guys, but basically, you're going to be doing an absolute shit ton of break damage on the enemy, and this is going to be scaling off the amount of attack you have on your Firefly. So this means you want to not only be feeding her as much break as possible, you also want to be feeding her as much attack as possible as well. But she's also going to be enhancing her damage from some of her other major traces, because at her A4, guys, she'll be giving herself super break damage based off the amount of break effect that she has when in the combustion state. So this means you want her to be at 360% break effect max when you're in her combustion state, so she's getting an extra 50% super break damage. That's where the main majority of her damage comes from, is super break damage, so you want to make sure you're reaching that 360 margin. And then the final thing her major trace has, guys, which I think is probably one of the best things in her kit, is she can implant fire weakness on any enemy that she touches. So this is going to mean, guys, it doesn't matter what enemy you face, unless the enemy just cannot be broken, then she can make whatever enemy she's facing fire weak. This means you can plop her on teams with Himiko and make everything fire weak, Lingshaw, everything like that. You can also bring her into situations, maybe in a dual DPS scenario with someone like a Rappa. If you have imaginary weak enemies, you put fire weak, and then she's able to do damage as well, help Rappa break the enemy shield, and then you get massive damage from that too. So overall, really good ability to have. Now, gamers, that's all that I kind of want to mention on the kit. I kind of want to talk about her teams now, because her list of teammates has grown substantially since she has come out and been released. So I feel like we should go ahead and start talking about her best in slot team first, which is going to be your bare bones hyper break team, which is going to be a team of Firefly, Harmony, MC, Fugue, and also Gallagher. Now, I don't have access to Fugue to really show you this gameplay because I'm recording this before Fugue actually comes out, but the reason why I put Fugue on this team over Ruan May here, which can be a replacement if you wanted to put her on this team, I do think on this particular team that Harmony, MC, and also Fugue will increase the damage of this team by a lot more, just because of the fact that your weakness break efficiency is already pretty good on her. You can already break shield pretty fast with her, so Ruan May on the team here really only provides weakness break efficiency, all type res pin, and then also break as well. But what Fugue is going to be providing to you guys is extra toughness on the enemy, meaning you can break the enemies more time, which ultimately give you more damage for your fly. On top of this, guys, you can give the buff from Fugue to Harmony MC to bypass weakness as well, so it guarantees everyone on the team to break the enemy faster, because Harmony MC can help out with breaking if the enemy is not imaginary weak here. Then you're getting the extra depth shred. Then finally, the biggest thing, you're getting the extra 100% super break damage that your Fugue is going to be providing to the rest of your team, so her damage will increase substantially with having Fugue on this team with someone like Harmony MC. But like I said, guys, in the team you're going to be seeing the background for this particular team is going to be a team with Ruan May here and Lingshaw, because of the fact that obviously I don't have access to Fugue yet, and this is probably going to be her second best in slot team, very close to what this team's able to do. I just do think replacing Fugue for Ruan May here will increase the damage output of this team. So let's go ahead and hop into some more wonky teams you can run with her on. Now, always, you're either going to run her with a Fugue or a Harmony MC. Her damage shits the bed if you don't have super break damage, so you do need a super break unit on your team to make her pop off and make her do a good amount of damage. With that being said, guys, I'm going to recommend a team with Rappa, Firefly, Harmony MC, or Fugue, and Lingshaw here, or Gallagher works here too. this is a dual DPS break team here. You have Firefly to come in and help break enemy shield down. If you have someone like Arapa, she's also able to bypass every weakness as well when in her ultimate state, though at a lesser amount. So Firefly is really here to help break the enemy shield down a lot faster and do her own super break damage, while you have Rapa come in here and just absolutely do massive amounts of damage to every single enemy on the field. This team works really well too. Another alternative to this, guys, if you want to run a team with, like, let's say Himiko as well, so you could run a dual DPS team replacing Rapa out for Himiko, and this team could also work because every single enemy will be fire weak regardless, because you're going to have Firefly on the team implanting that fire weakness on the enemy. So this means you can also get the extra breaks off with Himiko as well, and then also pairing her up with Fugue instead of a Harmony MC here, you'll get the extra breaks off. So this means Himiko's able to follow up attack more, which means more super break damage overall for the whole team. But that's all I really have to say about the teams. Now I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about her best in slot light cones, because truthfully and honestly, guys, her light cone options are pretty free to play friendly. Like, don't get me wrong, guys, her best in slot light cone is going to be her signature light cone, right? It's going to be about a 17% increase to what she's able to do with her second best in slot. So I mean, there is a pretty big difference in what these two light cones are able to do, but overall, you don't need this light cone to make her work, and I have never used her with her signature light cone. Sure, the extra break effect you're getting here is nice. Sure, the extra break damage you're going to deal is really good, and then also you'll be lowering the speed of the enemy as well. Like, that's great, fine, dandy, amazing, but what I use is on the fall of the Aeon at S5, guys. Because what this is going to be doing, guys, is increasing her attack indefinitely for the full battle, and then on top of that, guys, whenever you weakness break the enemy, it'll be increasing her damage, which really doesn't matter all too much. The big thing here, guys, you're able to get a 16% increase to your attack up to 4 times. You'll have this up to a 64% increase in her attack, which if you listened before in our kit breakdown, this will be directly influencing the amount of break effects she has, because you do get extra break effect stat from having attack on her, and more damage just from having attack on her. So this is a really good option to use on her, and we'll definitely recommend picking this light cone up from the Herta shop, because this is her second best in slot option. Then the final option I want to recommend to you guys is going to be the Promised light cone, the Misa light cone. But the reason I recommend this light cone, guys, is because realistically, guys, this is just going to be increasing her break effect even more, which leads to more super break damage, more break damage overall. The crit rate that you get here really doesn't matter too much. You can honestly use this on someone like a Misa on a break Misa team, which hopefully I can run that team here, because I think break Misa would be kind of crazy, kind of insane there. And then also increasing the crit rate as well, so someone like a Jouei could take use of this light cone. But those are going to be the 3 light cones that I recommend. Now I want to go ahead and talk about probably the moment you've been waiting for, what the best relic stats, and everything like that are that you can run on her. But before we hop into that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button now. You might have just gotten scammed, clicked this timestamp, and came here and said, what the fuck, you two? You scammed me. You were talking about relics. Subscribe, and then we'll talk about relics. Guys, please, they let me into the ZZZ beta. If we're nice and good here, they might let us into the Honkai Star Rail beta as well. Please, God, hit the subscribe button. Anyways, gamers, the best 4-piece set for Firefly is going to be the Iron Cavalry set. Now, Iron Cavalry was literally meant for her. Not only this, guys, the planar set was also meant for her as well. Like, this is built for her 100%, guys. Because at a 2-piece, this is going to be increasing her break effect by 16%. And then at a 4-piece, guys, if her break effect's over 150%, she'll be ignoring 10% of the enemy's defense. And then if her break effect's over 250%, she'll be ignoring an additional 15% of the enemy's defense. And this is a really easy margin to hit, considering her combustion state and everywhere that she gets extra break effect from. You're practically getting a free 25% defense ignore on the enemy, which is absolutely massive and skyrockets her damage to the moon. I definitely would be recommending this relic set here, guys. Realistically, would not recommend any other set here, guys. Like, this is the one set you should be aiming for. This is the only set you should be aiming for. That's all I'm going to say to that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the best in-slot planner sets. And the best in-slot planner set was also made for guys. Forge. Forge is the best in-slot planner set, guys, because first of all, it increases her speed, which she needs. And we'll talk about the little stats you're going to be needing for in the next section here. But it's giving her 6% speed, guys. And then also, if you're targeting an enemy with fire weakness, which the enemy will always have, she'll be getting an extra 40% to her break effect lasting for 1 turn. But this is basically always going to be up. So this is a free 40% break effect. When paired with the good sub and main sets you're going to be running on her, she's going to have an absolutely fine and dandy day. These sets were tailor-made for Firefly, guys, so get these sets right here. Another alternative you could use, a more copium option, which would be Talia, Kingdom of Banditry, guys. I mean, this will be giving you an additional 36% break effect, but realistically, this doesn't matter because this is still less break effect than the Forge set, and you're also not getting any speed. But if you already have this set lying around and you don't want to farm the other set, then then maybe you just run this set here. But definitely would recommend Forge, guys. Best in slot, in my opinion. Get both of these sets, absolutely hands down the best. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about those best main and subsets. Starting off with the main sets first, guys. On the boots, guys, you want to be aiming for speed or attack. And the reason why I recommend attack here, guys, is because I run mine on attack. I have absolutely cracked speed substats. I can get her to the speed threshold she needs to reach without running attack boots, but I mean, that's only if you have really cracked relics, and for some reason I got really cracked relics for her, so that can be run if you do have cracked relics. Hopping into the body now, guys, attack percent here, pretty self-explanatory. Attack equals break effect for the most part. For the rope is obviously going to be break effect, and then for these spheres, obviously going to be attack percentage, guys. Obviously, you're getting as much attack percentage as possible because attack percentage does equal break effect, but that does lead us into these substats and recommended stats. So, guys, for substats, you're going to be wanting to reach speed, break effect, and attack percentage. And the recommended stats here, guys, is on the speed. Honestly, it really depends on what team you're running her on. If you have her on a team with Ruan Mei, I would recommend going for around 141 speed because Ruan Mei will give you a 10% increase, which puts her at the 150 speed before entering the combustion state, which will give her an extra enhanced skill when you reach 150 speed. Now, if you don't have Ruan Mei, you're obviously going to have to hit 150 speed on her before you go into battle, so definitely would recommend that speed boot if you cannot reach that margin there, but 141 speed if you do have Ruan Mei in the team, and then you're going to be wanting to get 150 speed if you do not have Ruan Mei on this team. On the break effect, guys, you're going to be wanting to aim for anything over 360%. Now, you only need 360% when in the combustion state, so temper your expectations. Your before stats don't need to be 360. What I would recommend doing here, guys, is going into battle, activating combustion state, and then looking at her stats after that. That's what I would recommend. It takes a little extra steps because you have to go into battle. This is a great visual way just to see how much break effect she's actually going to have when in the combustion state. If she's at 360, then you're fine. If she's not, you're obviously going to need some more substats when building into her. And then for the attack, guys, as much as possible. Yes, you want as much attack as possible because the more attack you get, the more break effect she's going to get as well. Obviously, break effect is more important here, but attack percentage is still nice because a portion of that does feed into giving her some extra break effect. Anyways, gamers, that's all I have to say in today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and maybe hit that subscribe button as well. Are you enjoying your Firefly so far? Is she living up to your expectations, or is she absolutely getting you kerfuckled in the memory of chaos with the massive HP power creep we currently have in the game? Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Later. Bye-bye.